I remember the first time I saw him. I was taking a night walk like I always do. I was never scared to go out at night. My neighborhood never had any crime bigger than shoplifting or speeding. It was my town was like that. I was taking a walk to a local park and I just sat down on a bench underneath a lamppost. This dark black cat walked out in front of me. I thought I heard him purring, but he didn't seem like he was going to hurt me. So I reached out and started to pet him. He meowed and made cute little noises and purred. He began to purr louder and brush up against my leg. As some cats do, he opened his mouth, not to meow, to show me his teeth like he was smiling for just a second, and he closed it. Something made a rustle in the bush up ahead. He bolted off. It was getting pretty late, so I started to walk home. I got to my door, and right as I put in my key, I heard a meow from right behind me. I turned around, and there was the same cat sitting up looking at me with big green eyes. It was a scary green almost. Neon. Now, I know you aren't supposed to feed wild animals, but I couldn't help it. He looked so hungry. I went inside and hurriedly got a small paper plate and put some small pieces of ham on it. I opened the door to give it to him, but he was gone, so I set the plate down right outside my front door. I made the psst psst sound that almost every cat comes to, but there was no trace of him. After that, I went to bed, and it was around 11:30. The night I woke up to something tapping on my window. I would have been a bit scared had I not been too sleepy to comprehend anything. I turned over in my bed to see the same cat sitting up with those big green eyes right on my windowsill. He was definitely smiling now. I couldn't see the slightest hint of white. I can't read today, can't I? I could see the slightest hint of white near his mouth, as his teeth were just barely showing. His tail was flailing happily, like his tail had a mind of its own, and bouncing against my door in the protest. I didn't notice at all, but at that moment, I did realize something later that day. I always keep my blinds down and closed and my window and my curtains over the window. But when I saw the cat, the curtains were parted and the blinds were up. I woke up that day, not even remembering that sight, and got ready for my usual day. Fast forward a few hours. I don't want to bother him with details. I left my work office, not 30 minutes away from my house, and there in the parking lot, right beside my car, was that same cat, sitting and smiling, with the green eyes that looked even bigger. Looking right at me at this point, I knew something was up. I called animal control, and they came and called him. When they were taking him away, he was staring at me with green eyes now like he was plotting to kill me for giving him away. I had a lot more peace of mind for the rest of the day until that night. Dude, if this was just some stray cat that didn't have a collar, didn't belong to anyone, I wouldn't even turn it into the pound. I would just take it in. This cat seems to like it. What the hell's wrong with this woman? I didn't take a walk that night. I was a bit unnerved about the cat, in fact. I didn't even leave the house for the rest of the day. Right before I fell asleep, I could have sworn I heard a pawing on my bedroom door. I dismissed it as my laundry machine, a mouse, or some other common sound. But that morning I woke to something terrifying. The same cat was laying right there on the end of my bed, asleep, still with that smile that I had come to know as a demonic smile on his face. I could even see a few teeth that were so long they were sticking out of his mouth. I had had enough. I knew I wouldn't have animal rights people down my throat about what I was going to do. But I didn't care. I grabbed the cat by the neck. He didn't even scream and thrashed around like a normal cat would. I threw it into the backyard and beat it to death with a shovel. You crazy or something? The cat just likes you. Throughout the whole 10 minutes process, he did not meow or hiss even once. When I regained control of my thoughts and actions, the cat was barely recognizable. His two front legs were broken, his right ear was torn, his whip was demolished, his face had a huge dent in it, and his fur was becoming infused with blood. I couldn't believe what I had done. I didn't have to come into work that day. So I put his mangled and blood-drenched corpse in a box, drove far out of the city, and buried it near a forest. Do you know, on the side of the road, do you know why? 'Cause I'm a jerk. I was really shaken. I thought about this. How had the cat gotten inside my bedroom, let alone my house? I didn't think about it. You know, there are some pictures on Tumblr say having like a cat in the house, and you don't know how they got in, and the person's like, "That's not my cat. I don't even have a cat." So things can happen, okay? Don't leave your windows open. I thought about this. How had that cat gotten inside my bed? I didn't want to think about it. I got some lunch from a fast food restaurant and went home to take a nap. I was exhausted, and it was only 12:30. I guess I slept all through the day, but I wish I had slept longer. I woke up on my own and was immediately compelled to look at my window and saw what scared me for the rest of my life. It was that cat with his damaged body, smiling larger than before and staring right at me. His eyes were not bright green anymore and were oozing with blood. They were pitch black, as if his pupils were enlarged to his entire eye. He looked at me and started to dance, his broken limbs trailing about in an unnatural, horrifying manner. His left leg was still bent the wrong way, and his ear was still torn. Every time he moved, sickening cracks would be heard. I screamed and ran for my life. I got in the car and drove far away from that city as possible. I'm not trying to start a new life in a new state. I'll be damned if I ever interact with any wild animals again. One day I came home to my new job and went in my bedroom. I saw something on my bed. It was that cat. He looked somewhat strange. I got scared by the mystery of how it got here. It couldn't have been the last one. It did look nothing like it. Then its eyes changed to crimson red color. It smiled a truly evil smile. I screamed at the top of my lungs as it started to walk towards me, hissing at me. I drew everything that came to have at it, but it slashed through the object like a hot knife through butter. Hit me to the ground and slashed me with his claws, all while smiling like a mental hospital escape. P. But as if gods were watching over me, the police burst through the door, saw what was happening, and sought the demon off me. Police didn't ask any questions about what happened, and if they did, what could I say? That day also ever carved into my mind slowly, ripping me apart and never leaving my mind. But then I realized if it was able to come back once, what's stopping it from coming back again? I think I kinda know why the cat doesn't like you. You killed it and you also sent it off to the pound. You deserve it, dude. Hey guys, so I decided to I was eating creepypasta, and I realized everybody because I put that to what I'm doing now. What I realized was they didn't like what I'm doing now because the first video that I did using the new upgrade didn't need lighting at all. The background had to be dark, and the next video then had some light in it, and you could see me in the background. I can understand why people stopped watching. I decided that maybe when I do that, I would do it at a year when night start earlier.